What's up guys, it's Krishna here and welcome back to the channel. First, I want to say a massive thank you to each and every one of you who's subscribed to this channel and watched my videos as well. We hit the 50 subscriber mark recently and I believe we're at 55 at the time of recording this video. So I'm incredibly grateful for all the support that I've received. In today's video, I'm going to be showcasing a set of battles featuring Swampert pulling wins out of absolutely nowhere. Yeah, that's right. Swampert can basically, it doesn't matter what situation of the game you're in. Even when it looks like you're in losing position, Swampert can basically just has the potential to basically flip so many matchups because of its insane energy generation, right? So in today's video, I'm going to be running a standard meta line consisting of Giratina, Articuno, and Swampert. Now, in my previous two videos, I showcased the triple starter teams, triple Kanto and triple Hoenn. But I love trying those triple starter teams and experimenting with a bunch of weird teams. But from time to time, I need to make sure that I run these meta lines as well to make sure that, I keep a balance between maintaining my score at a respectable level and also being able to experiment at the same time. So yeah, I've gained like about 100 battle rating points in just 3 sets running with this team. I guess that gives me a little more wiggle room to maybe experiment, and I've experimented a couple of times as well. I'll probably bring that in the next video, but that's going to be the trend. I'm going to be probably showcasing a meta line and then an experimental line, I guess, in alternate videos. So for today, exciting set of battles. Each and every battle in this set goes down absolutely to the wire, so please stay tuned till the end and let's just get straight into it. Okay, moving on to the first battle right here. Like I mentioned, my ratings just dropped significantly after trying all these experimental teams. So this particular set of battles is a part of my quest to get my score back up to a respectable level so I can continue to experiment. So we met with the Gyarados, not a great matchup because those Dragon Breath and Crunch would do super effective damage, but not terrible either because Gyarados is fairly glassy as far as Ultra League is concerned, and these Shadow Sneaks and Dragon Claws would do quite a bit of damage. They shield that up, so I'm going to mirror shields right here. And I'm going to shield this up because Crunch would do quite a bit. Typically, I don't like shielding my Giratina. My standard game plan is to save 2 shields for Swampert. But, there are certain situations, I guess, you'll have to sort of change that a little bit because I think keeping Giratina in a little more would be beneficial for me. So at this point, I know I probably can't get to another Dragon Claw in time, which is why I make a switch into Articuno and hope they throw the charge move, but they make a switch into their Cresselia. This is not a positive matchup for Articuno because Cresselia's incredible bulk is going to allow it to win this matchup, but I'm just going to try and debuff it. We do have the slight energy lead here, so Icy Wind coming through. They are debuffed at this point, so this is probably going to be a Moonblast coming through right here. This is going to do neutral damage again, and I'm not going to shield. Unfortunately, we get the attack debuff as well, so this is a very long drawn out fight. It's a battle of the debuffs. Of course, Articuno has a 100% chance of getting it, whereas Cresselia has a 30% chance. But anyways, Cresselia is definitely more bulkier than Articuno here. So another Moonblast coming through. It is double debuffed at this point, so I'm not too worried about the damage. Still does like a decent amount, to be honest. So I'm going to switch into Giratina right here and then go straight for the Shadow Sneak. So this is going to do super effective damage against Cresselia if it goes unshielded. So let's see what they decide to do here. They decide to let it go through. That is absolutely fine. So at this point, I'm probably going to let this go through. I'm hoping that I can survive because they are double debuffed. Unfortunately, we don't. So at this point, I'm just going to come in with Swampert and completely mud-shot farm this Cresselia down, as crazy as it may sound. And they're going to get off a charge move right here. And I don't know what his second charge move is, so I'm going to let it go through. Ends up being a Grass Knot, right? They showed only Moonblast. I didn't think that they had Grass Knot, but I should have known. But this is absolutely disastrous again. So Gyarados is going to come back and get off this charge move. This is not looking great, right? Because they still have like a third health. 30% Gyarados with a shield and a full health Pokemon in the back, and my Articuno is practically dead. But this is where Swampert comes in super clutch, right? So first Hydro Cannon coming through. This gets the shield, which is absolutely fine because I have another one ready to go right away. So this Hydro Cannon, even though it's resisted, it should definitely take out the Gyarados. As you can see right here, it takes out the Gyarados. Let's see what they have in the back. They have a Registeel in the back. This is beautiful. So because I have the slight energy advantage, I think I can get to this Earthquake right here. So I'm able to get to this Earthquake, which is going to do super effective damage, but it's not even going to come close to taking this Registeel out. So I'm going to have to sack my Articuno right here, which I barely do. This is obviously going to do super effective damage and take out my Articuno right here, Flash Cannon. So I'm going to come back with Swampert, and now it's a race to the charge move. Can I get to the Hydro Cannon in time? I'm able to get to the Hydro Cannon just in time here. Will this finish off Registeel though? It does, barely. Oh man, that was incredibly close. I mean, as you can see, when my Swampert was going up against the Gyarados with one shield, it looked like impossible for me to win. But I guess, again, I think timing that sack perfectly was the key. I mean, obviously it was fairly obvious at the time that he was going to throw, but Swampert, like, pulled it out of absolutely nowhere, like I mentioned as well. So we went to the Alolan Muck, again, a pretty terrible lead, but they have Poison Jab. So this is definitely not a recommended moveset for Alolan Muck. You want to be running Snarl on it for its energy generation. Of course, some people like running Bite because it does a lot more damage, but typically you want to run Snarl. So luckily I don't shield that. It ends up being an Acid Spray. Again, not the recommended moveset. I guess you want to be running Dark Pulse and then Sludge Wave or Gunk Shot, but Acid Spray can be pretty dangerous as well because our defense has been lowered, but their attack has been lowered by one stage as well. Now it's going to be lowered again. So at this point, I probably don't have to shield the next charge move because even though we are lowered in our defense, they're double debuffed at this point. So another charge move coming through. This is probably going to be a Dark Pulse, or at least I'm assuming it is. But instead of being another Acid Spray, this is just, it was pretty strange actually, to be honest. So at this point, they're going to come in with Giratina. So I'm going to make a switch into my own Giratina right here because I want to clear the debuffs on my Articuno. So they bring a switch into Clefable. Again, not great, right? I've just switch locked my Giratina into a Charmer right here. This is not a great matchup. So because those charms are absolutely destroying. So just going to have to chip away with Shadow Sneaks and Shadow Claws. This is one of the reasons why I like to run Shadow Claw on Giratina, because at least you're doing some sort of neutral damage to the Charmers, whereas Dragon Breath would be double resisted. So at this point, I'm just going to continue to just do as much damage as possible. I get to this Dragon Claw right here, and I'm really hoping that this gets the shield. They don't shield that. That was really gutsy by them, because if it's Shadow Sneak, that would have taken them out. So at this point, I'm going to come in with Swampert right here. Going to have to shield this because I can't afford to take any of additional damage. So Moonblast coming through. I was expecting a Meaty Mash, to be honest, but it's a Moonblast. So I'm just going to commit to the farm down, right? I'm going to commit to the complete farm down here. Let's see what they have in the back. They have a Giratina in the back. So Giratina comes. Okay, yeah, I mean, they did have Giratina, which they switched out of it, I believe. So they're going to throw the Dragon Claw right here. So I'm going to go straight for the Hydro Cannon. So I'm hoping to get a shield because they still have 2 shields. I'm believing they're inclined to shield. They shield that up. That is perfect. So I'm going to make a switch into Articuno, immediately throw the Icy Wind right here. Unfortunately, they get to a charge move. This is not ideal, right? I would have loved to save that shield for Swampert, but now I'm going to have to shield this because I have to land this Icy Wind, or at least get their final shield and debuff them because they can't switch out of this matchup. That's my only win condition here. So Icy Wind coming through lowers this Giratina's attack. So this point, it's still not looking great, right? Because my Swampert is it's pretty low. So but they commit to the farm down, which is why I'm able to get to another Icy Wind right here. This is going to do super effective damage and also lower its attack, gets it critically low, but they have so much energy right now. This is not ideal, right? So we're not at a Hydro Cannon yet, so they have at least two charge moves lined up here. So first Dragon Claw coming through gets a Swampert critically low. Second Dragon Claw coming through. Now is this going to finish off my Swampert though? It doesn't. We survive with a sliver of health, and I'm going to be able to get to this last second Hydro Cannon. And I think this should finish off the Giratina right here. So once again, last second Hydro Cannon coming through super clutch, and then we were able to pull that off as well. So, I mean, when I switch locked my Giratina into the Clefable matchup, it really didn't look like I would win that game. But once again, you all, as long as Swampert is there, you never say never, right? Because it's just so good. So moving into the third battle right here, I believe this is one of the battles where I make like a few key mistakes. We'll see. Yeah, I think it's this one. So, okay. Remember to the Giratina, it's a Dragon Breath Giratina. So they're going to do a lot more damage to us than we are to them. But we're going to be able to get to the charge moves quicker. So I'm going to throw the first Dragon Claw right here. It's going to do super effective damage and doing a decent amount of damage. So typically I never shield in the Giratina mirror, simply because I don't want to burn shields in this matchup. And also Dragon Claw, even though it's super effective, doesn't really do that much. It definitely adds up over time, as you can see right here. So just going to get the second Dragon Claw right here and hoping that I can get their shield. That's my plan, because Giratina doesn't win. In the Zero Shield, actually, a Shadow Claw Giratina loses to the Dragon Breath variant. As you can see right there, Dragon Breath too strong and just finishes off. So this is going to come in with Articuno and hopefully completely farm this Giratina down right here. Not going to shield this, not really going to do that much, or at least that's what I think. But ends up being an Ancient Power, right? This is the game changer right here. Ancient Power does double super effective damage against Articuno because of the Ice Rock typing, Ice Flying typing. At this point, I'm thinking it's too soon to be another Ancient Power, which is why I let it go. It's another Ancient Power, unfortunately. So, and we don't even get to a single charge move. This is absolutely disastrous, right? Even though Swampert can win games out of nowhere, this is too much to do for it. And they have a Clefable with a shield in the back. This is not great because all they have to do is basically shield once and they're going to be able to do so much damage with charms, right? So this is not looking great. So just going to throw the second Hydro Cannon right here. They still have a shield, so I believe they probably, I'm really hoping they let it go through because we're taking so much damage from the charms. They shield that up, so this is not looking great. As you can see, Swampert is going down real quick here. So it's going to throw the third Hydro Cannon right here. This should hopefully finish off the Clefable. Because they have no more shields. But at this point, my Swampert is way too low and an Obstagoon comes in and counters me down. So this is definitely a game which I could have won. We lost with 2 shields right there. That's the worst part. When you lose with 2 shields, it feels absolutely terrible. But we do make a comeback. This is probably the most exciting game of the set. So you'll see, this is an insane game. This is one of the best games I've played probably in this season. So we have Giratina into Obstagoon. Not a great matchup at all, especially considering we're running Shadow Claws, which are triple resisted. So just going to save switch into Articuno right here, and they make a switch into Registeel. This is not looking great at all, right? We lost the lead and then got straight up hard countered on our save switch. So I mean, there's nothing that an Articuno can do against a Registeel. The only thing that I can do is basically just debuff it. So just to make sure that one Flash Cannon doesn't really one-shot the Articuno right here. So it's going to do super effective damage. Does a lot of damage, but they're going to have to get off another charge move to get rid of Articuno. So I'm going to be able to get to the second Icy Wind right here and try and debuff this Registeel twice, which is, like I said, that's the only thing that an Articuno can do in this matchup. So again, really not doing anything at all to this Registeel. So another Flash Cannon coming through. This is definitely going to take out my Articuno right here. But they undercharge so that they can gain a lot of energy. But Lock On really doesn't do that much. On top of the fact that it's double debuffed, they're forced to throw another charge move right here. So that probably was a mistake on their part. They probably should have thrown the Flash Cannon right away. Or they shouldn't have undercharged. So I'm just going to come in with Swampert. Swampert basically has to take care of both Registeel and Obstagoon at this point. Just going to throw the Hydro Cannon, but they make a really nice switch into Togekiss. Now Swampert is going to have to deal with Togekiss, Registeel and Obstagoon, right? Giratina is basically just a liability at this point. So just going to throw the second Hydro Cannon. Luckily, we have so much stored energy right here. I'm going to have to stay in this matchup, unfortunately. They shield that up, but they still have another shield, and these charms are absolutely starting to chunk away at my Swampert. I'm going to get to the third Hydro Cannon right here. This is insane. This is where it gets really intense, right? Third Hydro Cannon coming through, gets their second shield. Now we're up 2 shields to 0, but I'm going to have to get to the next Hydro Cannon right here. I'm able to get to this Hydro Cannon just in time, and this should get this Togekiss incredibly low. So I'm just going to switch into Giratina to soak the charge move right here. I knew this Hydro Cannon wouldn't take it out at one shot, and they have a charge move ready to go. And the reason I switch out is because I want to still save 2 shields for Swampert. And even though Ancient Power would be resisted, I want to preserve as much health as possible on Swampert, because Swampert basically has to take out both Obstagoon and Registeel, right? Because Giratina is not really going to be able to do that much. But I'm just going to try and chip away with Dragon Claws right here. It's going to do neutral damage to Obstagoon, even though those Shadow Claws are doing absolutely nothing to Obstagoon right there, as you can see. Being triple resisted on top of the fact that Obstagoon is actually fairly bulky as well. It does literally nothing. So, going to throw the next Dragon Claw right here. It's going to start chipping away. They're actually building up on so much energy. They easily have like close to 100 energy right now, because they probably have 2 or even 3 Night Slashes ready to go. So I'm just going to throw the next Dragon Claw right here. Gets this Obstagoon into the yellow. So at this point, they're going to get off a charge move right here. I'm not going to shield. Like I said, I'm just going to have to preserve shields for Swampert. Still a tricky situation because Swampert is incredibly low. So they make a really nice combo play. They switch into Registeel and throw the Flash Cannon. But what this has done is it's opened up a win condition for me. So what I'm going to do is my Swampert is critically low right here. So I'm just going to build up to 2 Hydro Cannons. Because Lock-Ons are doing very minimal damage, I'm going to shield this up. We still have a shield. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to charge up to 2 Hydro Cannons. The reason I need to do this is because if I throw the Hydro Cannon right away here, Obstagoon is going to be able to counter Swampert down because we're extremely low. So at this point, I have 2 Hydro Cannons back to back right here, and the switch timer is starting to run out. I mean, the game timer is starting to run out right there. As you can see, 6 seconds left in the game, but I'm able to get the second Hydro Cannon just in time, and this should finish off the Obstagoon. Oh man, that was just so close, and the timer runs out just right there. I mean, that was just insane right there. It was Swampert just got off the Hydro Cannon just in time, just before the switch timer ran out. I guess if it was delayed even by a couple of seconds, this probably would have timed out and they would have won because Obstagoon had more health than Swampert did. So I just had to take a little bit of time to breathe, and like you can see, the time has changed. We're well into the night now as we move into the 5th battle of the set right here. Met with the Grand Bull. Pretty terrible lead. Again, not the ideal lead at all for Giratina. So I'm just going to save switch into Articuno right here and hoping they don't have a Steel type in the back. Looks like they don't because they haven't switched out as yet. So at this point, I'm just going to throw the Icy Wind right here. It's going to do neutral damage to get Grand Bull if it goes unshielded. Doing a decent amount of damage actually. They're still deciding to stay in this matchup. So let's see what they decide to do here. They're going to throw the Charge Move. I'm going to shield this up because whatever it is, it probably would take... No, actually I let it go through. Okay. I let it go through and then I'm trying to get this Icy Wind here, but unfortunately we don't, right? This is really unfortunate right here. I probably should have shielded that. So I'm just going to come in with Giratina and Shadow Claw this Grand Bull down because they are debuffed. We are taking a lot of damage from Charms even though they're debuffed. So at this point, let's see what they have. They have an Obstagoon in the back. Again, not a great matchup for Giratina. So just going to throw the Dragon Claw and switch into Swampert. And hopefully they have something in the back which is weak to Swampert. That's my plan here. So just going to switch into Swampert and they still have 2 shields. So let's see what they decide to do here. So just going to overfarm just a little bit and... they're going to get off charge move right here. I'm not going to shield because in case they get the boost, I might have to shield the subsequent charge moves. So just going to build up to 2 Hydro Cannons right here and then go back to back. They're going to get off another charge move right here. I'm going to have to shield this up, unfortunately, because Swampert is getting extremely low. So Night Slash coming through. I'm going to shield that up. So at this point, like I said, I have 2 back-to-back Hydro Cannons stored up. So just going to go for the first one right here. It's going to do heavy neutral damage to Obstagoon if it goes unshielded. We get the shield. So I'm going to go for the next Hydro Cannon. They make a really nice switch into Swampert. This is fine because Swampert also takes heavy neutral damage from Hydro Cannons right here. Does about 40% of Swampert's health. So I'm going to be able to get to the next Hydro Cannon as well because we have the energy lead. We're not looking in a bad position at all, right? This is actually a pretty decent position to be in, but still it's kind of tricky because Obstagoon is still there in the back. But I make a switch into Giratina to soak the Hydro Cannon right here. And I believe I think I'm going to commit to the Shadow Claw farm down right here, which we do. So at this point, it's still not looking great because Swampert is getting pretty low, my Swampert. And they still have an Obstagoon with almost like, I guess, full health. At this point, they're probably into the yellow. So I'm just going to throw the Dragon Claw again. They are over-farming quite a bit, as you can see. They probably have a couple of Night Slashes at least at this point. So it gets them into the red. So let's see what they decide to do here. I'm not going to shield. Like I said, I'm just going to save the shield for Swampert. This Night Slash is going to finish off the Giratina right here. And it's actually not going to finish me off. So I'm going to be able to get to the last second Dragon Claw. This is huge because now I'm going to be able to pressure the final shield from the Obstagoon. This is absolutely necessary because my Swampert has no energy, right? I'm going to have to build up all the way to Hydro Cannon right here. So I'm just going to go straight for I'm going to build up to Hydro Cannon, but they're able to get to a charge move first. I mean, they are probably close to a second Night Slash right here, so it's a race. It's a race to the charge move, and I'm able to get to the Hydro Cannon just in time here, and this should finish off the Obstagoon and take the game right here. So, again, Swampert was super clutch. That probably was a CMP because that Obstagoon had quite a bit of energy, and they probably were at a Night Slash. And if they had gotten the Night Slash off, then it pretty much would have been GG's for me. So, fantastic. A 4-in-1 set right there. Again, as you can see, I mean, probably in that one battle where I lost with 2 shields, I definitely could have won that too. But in all the remaining 4 games, Swampert basically was able to get to those last second Hydro Cannons. In one of the games there, Swampert basically got off 6 Hydro Cannons in a single game. And that was just absolutely insane, right? So, just slowly moving back up. This is actually one of the, 2150. It's actually one of the sets that I did to kind of basically get my score back up. I dropped below 2100 at one point. So yeah, I've been trying to get my score back up to a respectable level. I think after the set, I did another set, and at this point, I'm probably a little over 2200, which is still far from ideal, but definitely okay. It gives me some sort of wiggle room to experiment. Like I said, I've been experimenting so much this season, probably experimented much more ran more experimental lines than the number of medal lines that I've ran in the Ultra League Legacy Season 2. And I'm absolutely fine by that. I love experimenting with a bunch of different teams. It's so much fun as well. And I've got a couple of really exciting teams to showcase on this channel. It's probably something that I'll be doing in the next couple of videos, so stay tuned for that. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up and also hit that subscribe button as well. Like you can see in today's battle, Swampert basically just helped pull wins out of impossible situations, right? There were certain scenarios where I probably had no right to win those games, but as long as Swampert is there, you never say never, and it was just so clutch. It's just so OP, basically. So again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.